What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will be starting a brand new series where I will be reviewing brand campaigns, advertising campaigns, marketing campaigns, communications campaigns from some of your favorite brands. In this video, I'm going to be talking about Uber's latest push to connect with ride sharers at the March on Washington that happened on August 28th, 2020. This is kind of like a continuation of their Right to Move campaign that supports racial injustice and police reform, but this campaign was specifically for the March on Washington, and it was called Delete Uber. Basically, I'm just going to call it Delete Uber because a lot of the copy that was a part of the campaign is talking about delete Uber if you're a racist. Now, before we do a deep dive into this campaign, I do want to give you all a little update. On the last video that I posted here on YouTube, I told you guys that I was getting Invisalign. And so now I have Invisalign in my mouth, which is why I'm kind of talking with this a little bit of a lisp. And, you know, it's all good. I really don't feel like taking out my Invisalign trays. But, of course, if you guys want to follow my Invisalign journey, I'm going to be creating a playlist on my whole Invisalign journey so you all can keep up with Invisalign if that's something that you are interested in. So, first, I'm going to show you all the campaign, and then I'll come back and give you all my initial thoughts on the campaign, review the campaign, and basically break it down into segments so that you all can kind of get an understanding of how I feel about each part of the campaign. As you saw, this campaign was mostly just imagery and there was no video utilized in this campaign. I kind of wish that there was a video for me to review so that you all can get my initial reactions on that. But I kind of understand why there wasn't a video. It's really difficult right now for advertisers to shoot video ads because we are in quarantine and we have to stay 6 feet apart and all of that during this coronavirus. But, so yeah, there was no video for me to review and there was just images. So to start off, the campaign said, if you tolerate racism, delete Uber. Black people have the right to move without fear. Now, initially, I felt like this was a really bold statement. A lot of times you don't see advertisers and companies come out and use such direct communication. They want to leave it up to their customers a lot of the time to have their own perception of what they have said. But I really appreciate Uber for being very direct in their communications when it comes to what this campaign said. Basically, if you tolerate racism, delete our app. Black people deserve the right to move without fear. The Uber company cannot continue to be sustainable if their drivers and their riders do not feel safe. So to me, it makes sense for Uber to be on the side, of course, of racial justice, which obviously I feel like, you know, is the right side to be on. So I really like that they were very direct in their communication. They didn't leave it up to the audience to wonder which side they were on. And they put their own brand on the line and put their own business dollars on the line, telling people like, look, if you don't want to support racial justice and if you are a racist, go ahead and delete the app. We don't really need you riding in our drivers' cars or being a driver if you are racist, because of course that is going to make our riders and our drivers feel unsafe, and it's not sustainable for a company that provides transportation, especially in such close proximity to one another. When you're in the car, you are very close to the driver or the rider in your back seat, and it is unsafe for a person to get into a car with someone else who has hatred for that person or is a racist, basically. Also, in a lot of their content that they put out on social media, they basically used a black image with white text that simply says, "Black people have the right to move without fear." And then in the copy underneath the post, it reads, 57 years after the March on Washington, we thank those who marched before us. Yet another senseless shooting shows how far we have to go. To those at hashtag MOW2020, we stand with you. Black people have the right to move without fear. If you tolerate racism, delete Uber. To learn about our commitment and to be an anti-racist company, click the link in our bio. I'm going to say that this definitely feels like it was written by somebody who would work in the diversity and inclusion department. It's a very on-point message. Like I said before, it's a very direct communication type of message, and it's really nice to hear a message being articulated in such a decent and sincere way. At the end of the day, a lot of companies don't get it right, so when a company does get it right, I feel like we should just go ahead and give them the accolades for that. This is also coming at a time when Uber has just recently fired their former CEO of the company for being caught on video in an Uber ride that he got in, saying racist comments to the driver of the Uber car. So they fired that CEO. He lost his job. He's come out with different statements and things like that. I'll make sure to put that video down in the description box below if you have not seen that video. All of this coming after they fired their top guy, their CEO, who founded or co-founded the company, started the company. That just says a lot about the lengths that Uber is willing to go to make sure that their brand is not tarnished by racist people and racism. So it kind of also, you know, adds to what they're doing and what they're saying right now, telling people to delete the Uber app. It really seems like they're not playing around when it comes to creating spaces and environments that are safe for Black people. Now, as far as their website presence, Uber did create a landing page, what looks to be a landing page. It was difficult. I couldn't find the link to the page by going on their website, so I had to go directly to the link for the campaign on their website. Which is why I'm assuming that it's a landing page that they have on their website. But on that Right to Move landing page, basically they outline their action plan to get rid of racism on their platform, as well as sustain equity within the Black community. So I mentioned before, a lot of other businesses are talking about how they are going to increase diversity and hire more Black people and give money back to the Black community. But one thing that I really appreciate about what Uber is doing is they are also giving you a deadline for when they plan to have all of this kind of put in place, especially when it comes to hiring more people of color, specifically Black people, to their company. And that is something that I also appreciate, because it gives consumers and users of their brand or of their ride-sharing app the ability to keep up with updates at the company, as well as, you know, hold the company accountable for what they said that they're going to do. A lot of companies have come out and said that they were going to hire more Black people and give money and this and that, but also left their audience, you know, with left it up to their audience to basically believe them or not. And so the fact that Uber gives you a deadline to when they expect to have all of this done allows you to have a little bit more accountability with their brand. So, you know, you can keep up and make sure they're actually doing what they are promising that they are going to do. Also on their website, Uber left a PDF for all of the people who were protesting during the March on Washington. And basically this PDF outlined what your rights are as a protester, what to do if you encounter police opposition during your protest, as well as what to do if you feel like your rights have been violated during the protest. And I think that that was like an extra added bonus to their communications method. And, you know, it's something that they didn't necessarily need to do, but it was good that they added that extra help to protesters, because it just makes you believe that they are really invested in trying to make a change within the Black community, or make a change within their company for the Black community, as well as, you know, make people believe that they really do care about the Black Lives Matter movement and creating safe environments within their company for Black people. As far as the imagery goes for this campaign, Uber decided to use black background, white bold text. It was, you know, clear as day. I appreciated that they were very direct and they used imagery that was undistracting. On the PDF, they also used the black background with the white text, and they also used blue text to highlight all of the titles on the PDF, which basically blue is supposed to kind of make you feel like whatever they're saying is to be trusted. And so they kind of, you know, had a pretty basic, they were pretty basic when it came to the imagery of the campaign, but I just feel like it helps to get to the point of what they're really trying to portray, and it works in this case, in my opinion. If you have used the Uber app before, you know that this is not the first time that Uber has utilized its platform for social justice causes. They support LGBTQ. They support getting to the polls during voting time, during the election. So they are not new to social justice issues and supporting, being on the right side of social justice issues, basically. Like I said earlier in the video, it keeps riders safe, it keeps drivers safe, and it helps Uber to sustain the company, because of course nobody's going to want to ride with Uber if they feel like they are unsafe just for being who they are. So kudos to Uber for doing that. So as far as how people are responding to this campaign, you would almost think that people would be very, very supportive of the campaign, and, you know, it wouldn't be whether or not. But actually on social media, there were a lot of people who spoke out with distaste towards the campaign. Of course, there are many people who, when someone says Black Lives Matter, they want to say all lives matter. So there were a lot of people saying, no, all lives matter. We all deserve to be safe while we're in Uber. In my opinion, I believe that, of course, Uber wants all of their riders to be safe and all of their drivers to be safe. But at a time like this where Black people are far more affected by police injustice here in America, I think that they are just trying to highlight Black people and highlight some of the racial inequalities that happen towards Black people and that are happening right now as we speak. So Black people, LGBTQ, get into the polls. Like I said, Uber has always been a company to support social injustices, and right now racism is very prevalent, especially towards the Black community, as well as the Native American community. So I think that is why that they are kind of, you know, getting along with the Black Lives Matter and all of that, that movement to support Black people. And I don't think that for them it means that anybody else is less. It just means that right now we want to make sure that all people, including Black people, are safe when it comes to riding in Ubers. All in all, I really believe that Uber did a great job when it comes to Delete Uber campaign. I think that it was very direct, and regardless of whatever the circumstances are, there are always consequences to all of our actions. And right now, I think that, you know, while we are in quarantine, we're all just focused on, you know, the elephant in the room, which is racism here in America, especially while people are getting shot and killed in the streets at protests, at the hands of police. It's just something that has to come to an end, and right now it's the biggest topic that's going on right now. So companies like Uber, who are speaking out and being in support of Black people and racial justice here in America, I think that it's all great. I especially love it if you're able to properly articulate it, make it something that we all can really believe in, like Uber is doing, allowing your company to be accountable when it comes to its customers. I think this was a great campaign. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10, only because I really wish that there were videos for me to review. But of course, when you turn on TV and you see a Black man getting shot in the back 7 times, I think that's pretty much enough video content that, you know, that's the video content right there. So with that being said, I give them an 8, and yeah, I would love to hear what you guys think about this campaign. Definitely comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on the campaign, and, you know, let me know if you feel like they missed the mark or if it was right on point. And definitely stay tuned for the next one. This is my very first review. I really like this kind of topic, and so I'm going to be doing a lot more of these videos. So definitely stay tuned and subscribe to this channel if you are not already, and I'll see you guys in the next video.